Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. This video is about the FIDE, F-I-D-E. It's a special exam for Switzerland, the French part. So I'm gonna keep it in English because most of my students who are interested in the FIDE are English speakers or German speakers, but they understand English. So this is compared to other exams, let's say the DELF, the TEFAQ, TCF. It's not a difficult exam. It's really feasible. So what the logic is a bit different compared to the other countries because you have they can speak with you. So, and they're gonna start with a level A2, which is like intermediate, but this is an intermediate and you have to already show some skills. If you're too advanced for the level A2, they're gonna downgrade the exam to A1, which is elementary, or they're gonna upgrade to B1. So if you this is what you want. You want to have the B1 level and more. Okay, so of course this is only for the French speaking part. Okay, so now if you want to have the residency, citizenship, so speak and write a national language, simplified naturalization, or a cantonal language as your mother tongue. Have you attended compulsory school in the national language for at least 5 years, okay, or 3 years for the permit B and C, okay. So have attended a post-secondary or tertiary education in national language, or you do not have to take a language test, okay. So 5 years in a school, 3 years for the permit B and C, or you are like in secondary or high school, you don't need to take the test. So I would say this can be very challenging to see exactly what kind of school. Still, when you're there, you never know if the style will please you. You will like the style, the way they teach. Many teachers go fast, so they talk about one lesson and they don't come back to it. So it can give you the illusion that okay, you can follow the pace, but in reality, majority of my students don't follow the pace and they need to come back and repeat until they understand. Okay, so now the language requirements, family reunification, so you already have family over there, you need a B permit. So A1, oral. So you speak, you have a elementary level, meaning you can talk, you can say my name is, I live, I speak, I like, I don't like, and this kind of stuff. Permit C, you need to have the A2 speaking and written A1, which is very elementary, so you don't have to worry about that. Family reunification again. So if you want just a pure permit C, you need to have the A2 when you speak, A1 when you write. So the level is very, very low. And insurance of a settlement permit for the early insurance of a settlement permit, B1, A1. So still, and for naturalization, some canton can ask for something higher, so you need to check. B1 when you speak, so it's intermediate. You can answer if they speak faster. You're not gonna ask every time. Can you repeat? I don't understand. That is really bad. B1, A2. So the written part is really easy, but you need to check also your canton. So let me just open that just in case. That's the same. Okay, that's the same. So I know in Lausanne, let me just go back here. I know, let's say, minimum language requirement. Let me add a new one. So minimum language requirement, let's say naturalization, and let's say Lausanne. Oh, I have the wrong keyboard, sorry about that. So, because I have different languages on my computer, let me just change it, it's gonna be faster. So minimum language requirement, let's say Lausanne. So Lausanne. So you see it's a bit higher. Most courses are taught in French. So you have like B2 level in French or English. Okay, English, that's interesting. Normally it's only in French. And if you want to study in a university, which is fine, you know. But let's say naturalization. I'm still struggling with my stuff. There we go. B1, spoken, A2 for written, which is the same. If I want to check Fribourg, B1, A2, a bit lower, okay? But still, I would say don't trust easily what you see. You need to check if it's really like this, because sometimes you can have some information online and they tell you something else. So minimum language requirement, Fribourg naturalization. Let's say Geneva. Wow. Geneva. Okay. So same, B1, A2. So yeah, I would say just expect B1 for speaking and A2 for written. Okay, which is very nice. You know, if you want to take, let's say, the TCF France, let's say minimum language requirement. So residency permit, but B2 for naturalization. So we are like trying to reach a different level now. They changed it because a few months ago it was B1. So they don't tell you everything, because here you need a B2 for listening comprehension, the spoken comprehension, the written production, and also the reading comprehension. Reading is you have a text with some questions. And believe me, not easy. Let's say if I say DELF, yeah, B2. I mean, for level, for going to the university, but in general it's B1, B2, but just expect it's gonna be B2. Now they want to change it, so yeah. So I would say in Switzerland it's a bit easier. The thing is, it's more expensive, so you you have to. I'm just looking for my voilà. So it's really easy. You know, there's nothing really complex. And language levels, let's see what they say here. Okay, so elementary use of language A1, elementary use of language A2. So they tell you exactly. So I would say A1 can make him or herself understood in the personal living context, work, or in the children's school in a simple way. If the person they are talking to speaks slowly and clearly and is prepared to help where necessary. Can introduce him or herself and others with simple words, can give short, simple answers to questions about his, her person, where they live, work, children. Can put forth his, her own concerns in the living environments or when shopping in prepared and practiced sentences. It's very easy. You don't need 3 years or 5 years of French, okay, for that. Now, but this is not what you want. I mean, if you want the naturalization, we want to be here, okay? Spoken B1. So A2, as I said, most of the exams, they start with the A2. So what is A2? Can understand simple questions and messages associated with important areas of life, questions and information on school, education, work, health, or living situation. What does that mean? You need to talk about the past, because if you went to different schools and you had different jobs, Well, that means you're gonna have to talk about the past, which is imparfait, passé composé. I just did something, you know, it's another expression. Um, if I, you know, I will, I'm going to, you know, simple tenses, nothing complex. Can express him herself in simple routine situations in a government office or other public institution requiring a direct exchange or of information on familiar things. Okay, you know, basic stuff. Huh? Can describe his or her own origins. That's gonna be imparfait, passé composé. Education, work experience in simple words and report on personal experiences. So don't get fooled. Huh? You're gonna have to deal with the tenses and verbs. Um, you can also prepare a text that you're gonna learn by heart. But the thing is, if they are tricky and they ask you different questions, you may not be prepared. So it's better to prepare yourself well. B1, that's what we want. You see, they don't even talk about the B2. So can understand important information from a school, employer, landlord, or public authority if a clear standard language is used and familiar topics are being discussed. Can cope with a majority of situations in everyday life at the place of work or in public spaces. Can express him or herself simply or coherently about familiar topics, personal interest, and experiences. Can describe his or her own opinions, goals, hopes, and wishes, and substantiate or explain this briefly. Okay, so that means you're gonna have to deal with it. You know, let's say simple subjunctive. Okay, il faut que, I have to, or je dois. You know, this kind of stuff. You know, a lot of places they like to ask you questions about the political system, juridical system, the constitutional system. So just get ready for that. Okay, now. So language levels, residence and citizenship. For people who want the citizenship, it's gonna be the FIDE. Proof, let's that. Okay, we can check after. Language courses, let me check. So, what are courses with a FIDE label? The FIDE label is a sign of quality. This means that language courses bear this label if they are of particularly good quality. But again, I note some language schools, they pretend to be good quality, but the content may not fit everyone or suit everyone. The better the course, the faster you learn as a participant. It depends the person. You can have the best courses and your student doesn't really understand or follow. Or now it's just a matter of focusing. Are you able to focus for an hour without being distracted? Because we live in a different world. What does quality means for language courses? So the courses are based on the FIDE principle. For you as a course participant, this means what you want to learn is central. You learn what really helps you in everyday life. You have a say and help in choosing the contents and methods of the course. You always record your progress. This motivates. You get to know yourself and your way of learning better. This makes you more self-confident. Okay, so you have a bunch of Fribourg, Croix-Rouge. Interesting. They give courses. Oh yeah. Okay, so let me check here. That's very interesting. Okay. That will be interesting if they teach in English or in German. Yeah, it's elementary. So they don't give you. Yeah, not interested. So let's see a real school. Débutant, that's all level, elementary level. And most of them are in German. Oh, interesting. So, okay. Français intégré. Let's see this one. Okay. The website doesn't work. Yeah, the website doesn't work. So, not really useful. Let's say intensive French. page non trouvée means the page is doesn't exist anymore. Well, this is what I'm talking about. I thought they were a tiny bit more organized, but no. So yeah, for people who don't speak German, that will be a bit challenging. It's also a Swiss German, which is, you have some differences, not too many compared to German. I know a lot of people who come from Germany or Turkey, Eastern Europe, you know, England, lots of British go to Switzerland. So I would say, yeah, you can be a bit lost, maybe to go directly to these places, you know, in order to have some ideas. But be careful of the level they give you. So if you're just satisfied with a beginner level, why not? But if you need intensive in order to reach B1, B2 level, I don't see that anywhere. So maybe here, but it depends also where you live. Okay. Now the proof, the FIDE test, recognized language certificates. So what do they like? Okay. Let me just click here. That's not what I wanted to do. Well, that's okay. We cannot open the PDF like this, but sorry, still allergies. Let's go here. And you have different exams. So of course we want the French. If you want to live in a German place, you're gonna need to take it in German or in Italian, okay? And register for a mock exam, part speaking. Yeah, they don't give a lot of stuff, huh? A bit okay. And you have different institutions. So if we say, well, Geneva, they're gonna have a bunch. Yeah, I mean, you can also have, you can also contact these people, but most of the time, if I click here, yeah, they're expensive. Let's see. Ah, yeah, you're not gonna give you anything, but usually they're very expensive. So tarif, let me just check. Oh, they don't give you anything. Well, that's okay. So now, which is, I mean, if you want to work in Switzerland, you're gonna have to invest in your courses. The best is to contact them before you move, or you start with Duolingo, or you start online, okay? And you're gonna see how you're doing, because everyone is different. And are you able to learn? But what is the pace? Are you capable of learning on a regular basis, or do you need more time? So you're gonna have to be honest with yourself. And am I, you know, a fast learner or a slow learner? Okay, or I'm just a normal learner. So here, if I want a mock exam, come on. So nothing is available like this. You need to contact them. So you will receive a rough estimate of your level, A1 to B1, after 1 week. This mock exam takes place approximately 2 to 4 times a year. The registration for the mock exam is definitive. So be careful, get ready for that, you know. And so here, if we have the video, so I'm assuming, do I need the naturalization, just a permit, you know? So do I want to work in Switzerland? What is my skill? What are my skills, etc. So that's a website. We are on feedservice.ch. And you need to select also your canton or your city. Yeah, ideally to call, but they may just tell you the same thing. I would say you call if you're sure that you want to take the test, when you can take it. If you're ready for that, we can take a look. There are like different PDFs here. They don't give you a lot of things, but we can check that later. So the written part and the spoken part. What is your level? What is your level? Okay. So don't fool yourself. Don't lie to yourself. There are a lot of, I'm kind of disappointed in this, but in France, there are a lot of schools and also universities in southern France where they give you this kind of fake certificate. And I had this student, she pretended to have a B2 level. She absolutely didn't have a B2 level, especially when she was speaking. Maybe the written was okay, but she was making so many preposition errors and also the tenses. It was horrible to read her. And so I would say just be careful. Do not trust easily. If you want a free evaluation, let me know. I can do that, and we can see, honestly, where you at. If you need a honest estimation, I'll tell you what you need to cover. What are your weaknesses, etc. I think those are like productive criticism, and this is what all these people need. Why? Because they need to know how much money they're gonna spend, how long it's gonna take, and if they are ready for something, because time is money. So they set up a time, a day, for either taking the feed or I would say it's more like for the feed to take the exam, but it's not too difficult. So she goes to the feed center. Here we go. I have an appointment for my exam. So 20 minutes speaking. It's a lot of people think it's fast. It's not, especially if it's a foreign language. So this is when they estimate. They start with A2. They check. They see if they have to regress to A1 or B1. Okay, but if it, this is what they tell you. But most of the time, it depends where you live, because they can start right away with the A1 level. If you are like, I just need a permit, so you just need the A1 level or the A2 level. Okay, we're gonna check this level. Okay, I would think it's more practical. Depending on where you live, some people will be like, we start with, what is the level required? Do you want a permit? Do you want the naturalization? Okay, we saw that most of the time spoken can be B1 and the written can be like A2, something like this. It's not complex. The written, they know it's kind of hard, and they want people to integrate in the country or in the city very, very fast. So the questions are mostly about your life, what you do, why you here, this kind of stuff. So, okay, she's doing well. Fit 2, the written. She's taking the exams. 1 hour. 1 hour is not long, so you don't have the luxury of time. Okay, so just be organized. 1 hour. And you have how long? Oh, that is a month. A month to see if you succeeded or not. So you see all the different levels here depending on what they require. etc., etc. So again, if you check the language level, it's not here. Voilà, I think it was here. So if I want to get the Swiss citizenship, I need to speak as an intermediate person, and the written is A2. Okay, so I would say, yeah, it depends what you need, because the spoken, they start with A2 normally. That's what they tell you. They start with A2. If you're bad, you're downgraded to A1. If you're good, you are upgraded to B1. But it depends what you need. You know, if you need the B1, that's what they're gonna do. Okay. So, but if you are downgraded to A1, A1 is only for this. Huh? So most of the time you don't want that. You don't want to be downgraded to A1. You want to be upgraded to B1. So the written, the level is very easy, but you need to know what they require. So the thing is to not do not go there thinking like it's gonna be super easy, but just go there with the idea of okay, I need to avoid to make mistakes. You know, there are like different techniques to avoid to be stressed during the exam. You get the confidence as well when you're well prepared. People are not well prepared. Either they don't care or they go there with insurance. So if yeah, it's gonna download this stuff, but you can click on the French one. If you're on the Italian part, you're gonna need that. If you're on the German part, you're gonna need this one. Okay. So again, how long does a FIDE test take? 40 minutes. The written part 60 minutes. So you saw on the video 20 minutes plus 20 minutes, depending on your level. Okay, if you're bad, you're gonna have 20 minutes, and they may not go through the 40 minutes. Okay, so the written part, where you have to stay there for an hour. You're not gonna have anybody telling you, "Oh, you bad, get out." No, you're gonna stay for an hour. And so you can register for a mock exam in order to see your level, and you can also already contact some schools to. You see, you already have the dates updated. Okay, let's say if I leave Fribourg. Oh, that could be interesting. Université populaire du canton de Fribourg. You have still 24th of May, June. Okay. Geneva, you have more because it's bigger. Neuchâtel. I like Lausanne. Lausanne is here. You have a bunch as well. Montreux is very nice as well. Don't have too many. Voilà. So it's up to you. If you need more information, let me know. I can connect. We can set up a Zoom meeting and see where you're at, you know, your level, etc., etc. You have an excellent day, and à bientôt.